Why I Love Street Fighter Episode 1. To understand the impact Street Fighter 2 had on me, we need to go back. Way back. Way back to the dawn of time. Okay, maybe not that far back, but let's rewind to simpler times. Back when I was 11 years old in good old 1992. My father was a conductor of a brass band, and every year his band would enter a competition in Pontins Holiday Park. Our family would spend the week at Pontins. 12-year-old Tony was into Lego and my beloved Sega Master System. The Pontins Holiday Park had a really big arcade. I absolutely loved spending my pocket money on my favourite games like Toki and Alien 3. Fast forward to 1993. We returned with my father's band, but this time I'd saved up all my pocket money to spend even more money at the arcade. Day one. After spending hours in the swimming pool, it was time to check out the arcade and see what was new. There was a crowd to the left for some bizarre reason, so I went right. I was happy my favourites, Toki and Alien 3, were still there. I remember thinking, I'll be back. Continuing my arcade walk, I was starting to get curious about the crowd of people that was to the left as I walked into the arcade. Then I heard the first sounds I'll never forget. It was the elephants from Dalsim's stage. Then I heard the cool music. The crowd were all gathered around this particular machine. It took me what felt like a couple of minutes to work my way in between the crowd to get close enough to see what was causing all this fuss. And then I saw it. Dalsim was on the left, Ken Masters was on the right. Two much bigger and older lads playing against each other. I asked someone in the crowd how much it was for a turn, and I was told it was 50 pence. Way more than the other games, which normally cost around 10 to 20 pence. The boy also explained that if I wanted to play, I needed to put my 50 pence on the cabinet in line with the others. And he also told me it was winner stays on and to wait my turn. I watched for about 20 minutes. I didn't know it at the time, but this was one of my favourite gaming memories of my entire life. I watched as other people challenged the best player, a Ken player, by using different characters from the roster. Guile looked so cool. Blanca gave me the creeps. He must be the main bad guy of the game, I remember thinking. Sagat was a giant of a man, and he also gave me the creeps. Ryu. There was something special about this character. He was my favourite. I completely forgot about Toki and Alien 3. These games meant nothing to me now. This is where I was spending the remainder of my week. I put my 50 pence on the cabinet and waited for my turn. I really wanted to play as Ryu, but I was a little worried as I had no idea what I was doing. Then someone chose Dalsim, and again I couldn't believe it. This guy could breathe fire and his arms could stretch right across the screen. This was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in all my 13 years of existence. I watched what the Dalsim player was pressing to pull off the moves and decided this was going to be my character of choice. Unfortunately for the Dalsim player, he also lost to the far superior Ken player, who was on something like a 6-win streak. Then I was told it was my turn. I was so excited. I completely forgot to put my money into the slot. I was wondering why it wasn't working. The Ken player rolled his eyes and said, "Dude, you need to put your money in." "Oh yeah, thanks." Then I selected Dhalsim and the announcer said, round 1, ready, fight. I remember jumping in the air a couple of times for some bizarre reason. Then the Ken player totally destroyed me. Round 2, fight. I landed the first punch by using my long arms. Wow, it worked, I remember thinking. So I did the exact same move again, then again, then again, then again, until the Ken player had lost the round. The Ken player said, no spamming allowed. I was 12 years old. I had no idea what he meant. So I kept hitting him with the same move until I won the round. Final round. He said something about spamming again. I had no idea what he was talking about. So I kept using the same move again and again. He did try jumping to get closer, but I used Dhalsim's long kick to keep him at a distance. Again, I won the round and the fight. I can't remember exactly what the Ken player said to me, but he didn't seem happy. I do, however, remember how proud I felt of winning my first ever Street Fighter match. The next player up was this massive kid. He looked 17 or 18 years old. He chose Ryu, and the Ken player I'd just beaten said he should teach me a lesson and just spam Hadoukens to see how I liked it. What the hell is a Hadouken, I remember thinking. Round 1, ready, fight. I couldn't believe my eyes. Ryu was firing fireballs at me from his hands. No gun, no flamethrower. He was just using magic. I tried jumping a couple of the fireballs, but my timing was off. Round 2, ready, fight. Same thing again. Fireball after fireball after fireball until I had no health left. You lose. Get out of the way, kid, said the next player in the queue. I clearly remember walking away to use the toilet thinking that was the most fun I'd ever had. Even though I'd lost, actually got my ass kicked, I still thought, no, I knew that was the best video game I'd ever played. And I was in love with Street Fighter 2.